The students of Class 4 Delta had never seen a Terran before. On Valtoris Prime, humans were a myth, the kind of thing you whispered about during juvenile wargames or traded in hushed tones between assignments. They come from a Deathworld, the instructor said. A planet where gravity crushes bones, weather flays skin, and life itself fights you every minute. So when Mira Kael, the new transfer from Earth, stepped into the crystalline lecture hall, everyone stared. She was smaller than most of them, barely half the height of a Valtoran adolescent, her skin pale instead of scaled, her eyes a strange storm gray. Yet something about her gait made people shift aside without realizing it. Even the air seemed to hum differently when she walked. Professor Ruthil clicked his mandibles, uneasy. Students, this is Mira Kael. She's from Earth. You will. The sound of a blade unsheathing cut him off. Tvar, son of a warlord, had pulled a monoknife from his side sheath. A joke, he thought. Just a little initiation. His peers hissed and chuckled in approval. Deathworlder, he sneered, his voice low and sharp. Let's see what's so deadly about you. Mira looked at him, and smiled. It wasn't a challenge. It wasn't even fear. It was the calm, weary smile of someone who had seen far worse than this, someone who had already survived things he couldn't imagine. Okay, she said simply. Tvar lunged. He was fast, 3 hearts pumping oxygen-rich blood through enhanced musculature. His blade blurred in the air. But the human moved differently. Not faster, not stronger, smarter. She sidestepped at the last instant, her desk between them. His blade struck hard ceramite and jammed for half a second. That was all she needed. Mira caught his wrist, twisted it down, and slammed his hand into the table edge with surgical precision. The knife clattered away. The sound echoed through the crystalline room. Then silence. Tvar hissed in pain, clutching his hand. The professor tried to speak but words failed him. No one dared to breathe. Mira straightened her uniform, brushed imaginary dust off her sleeve, and said in the same calm tone. On Earth, we don't pull weapons in class. We earn respect. She turned to the professor. Can I sit now? That broke the room. The students erupted in whispers, she moved like a predator. She's tiny. She broke Tvar's wrist. Tvar's pride was in tatters. But what chilled him most wasn't the pain, it was her eyes. They were utterly calm. No anger. No fear. Just quiet understanding. The look of a creature that had evolved under constant threat and learned to live anyway. That night, word of the Deathworld girl spread through the entire academy. Some laughed. Others feared. But a few began to wonder. The next morning, Mira found her desk covered in small offerings, alien students' way of showing respect. A fragment of polished obsidian. A nutrient bar. A tiny flower from the hydroponic garden. Tvar, his arm bandaged, approached her silently. You could have killed me, he said. She shrugged. Back home, that wouldn't even count as a fight. He blinked, trying to decide if she was joking. She wasn't. From that day, Class 4 Delta began to change. They stopped laughing at the fragile-looking human and started listening. Mira didn't brag, didn't posture. But when the physics of combat, survival, or planetary adaptation came up, her insights were terrifyingly precise. When she described Earth, the gravity, the plagues, the predators, the endless wars humanity had endured and won, even the professors took notes. Weeks later, during a training simulation, a containment breach flooded the arena with toxic gas. The aliens panicked, scrambling for airlocks. Mira moved first, sealing vents, activating filters, dragging 2 unconscious classmates to safety. Afterward, the Academy Council awarded her the Crest of Valor. But her response was simple. On Earth, that's just Tuesday. And when Tvar's father, the warlord himself, visited the school, he bowed his head before her. Your world breeds monsters, he said with respect. Mira smiled again, the same calm, knowing smile. No, she said softly. It breeds survivors.